Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Read from Bhagavad-Gita, 10th chapter, text 9. Machitamat kata prana Udayanta parasparam Katayanta shavam nityam Tushyanti charavanti cha. Machita, the minds fully engaged in me. Mat kata prana, their lives devoted to me. Bodhayanta, preaching. Parasparam, among themselves. Katayanta, talking. Cha, also. Mam, about me. Nityam, perpetually. Tushyanti, become pleased. Cha, also. Ramanti, enjoy transcendental bliss. Cha, also. Yeah. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me. Their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Purport. Pure devotees, whose characteristics are mentioned here, engage themselves fully in the transcendental, loving service of the Lord. Their minds cannot be diverted from the lotus feet of Krishna. Their talks are solely on the transcendental subjects. The symptoms of the pure devotees are described in this verse specifically. Devotees of the Supreme Lord are 24 hours daily engaged in glorifying the qualities and pastimes of the Supreme Lord. Their hearts and souls are constantly submerged in Krishna, and they take pleasure in discussing Him with other devotees. In the preliminary stage of devotional service, they relish the transcendental pleasure from the service itself, and in the major stage, they are actually situated in love of God. Once situated in that transcendental position, they can relish the highest perfection which is exhibited by the Lord in His abode. Lord Chaitanya likens transcendental devotional service to be sowing of a seed in the heart of the living entity. There are innumerable living entities traveling throughout the different planets of the universe, and out of them there are few who are fortunate enough to meet a pure devotee and get a chance to understand devotional service. This devotional service is just like a seed, and if it is sown in the heart of a living entity, and if he goes on hearing and chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, that seed fructifies just as the seed of a tree fructifies with regular watering. The spiritual plant of devotional service gradually grows and grows until it penetrates the covering of the material universe and enters into the Brahmajyotir effulgence in the spiritual sky. In the spiritual sky, also that plant grows more and more until it reaches the highest planet, which is called Goloka Vrindavan, the supreme planet of Krishna. Ultimately, the plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of Krishna and rests there. gradually, as a plant grows fruits and flowers, that plant of devotional service also produces fruits, and the watering process in the form of chanting and hearing goes on. This plant of devotional service is fully described in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, chapter 19. It is explained there that when the complete plant takes shelter under the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord, one becomes fully absorbed in love of God. Then he cannot live even for a moment without being in contact with the Supreme Lord, just as a fish cannot live without water. In such a state, the devotee actually attains the transcendental qualities in contact with the Supreme Lord. The Srimad Bhagavatam is also full of such narrations about the relationship between the Supreme Lord and his devotees. Therefore, the Srimad Bhagavatam is very dear to the devotees, as stated in the Bhagavatam itself, 12, 13, 18. Srimad Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yat Vaishnavanam Priyam. In this narration, there is nothing about material activities, economic development, sense gratification, or liberation. Srimad Bhagavatam is the only narration in which the transcendental nature of the Supreme Lord and his devotees is fully described. Thus, the realized souls in Krishna consciousness take continual pleasure in hearing such transcendental literatures, just as a young boy and girl takes pleasure in association with each other. Machita mat katha prana bodhayanta parasparam katayanta shamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. The thoughts of my pure devotees dwell in me, their lives are fully devoted to my service, and they derive great satisfaction and bliss from always enlightening one another and conversing about me. Umakyatimaranyasya gananchana salakyam chakshurunmetam yena tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Hare Krishna. So this section of the Bhagavad-Gita, 10th chapter, it describes the vibhutis of the Supreme Lord. Therefore it's known as bhakti-yoga. So that means description about the powerful Lord and his different expansions and everything that represents him. So here in the 10th chapter, text 9, beginning from yesterday's verse 8, 9, 10 and 11, this is called the Chatusloki verses of the Bhagavad-Gita. 4 essential verses, who is giving us the essence and the whole Siddhanta and the purpose of the Bhagavad-Gita. Like Bhagavatam also has 4 verses, Chatusloki in the 2nd canto, 9th chapter, text 32 to 32, 33, 34, 35. 4 verses also, Chatusloki, Bhagavatam, spoken by Krishna himself to Lord Brahma. And here again, Krishna is speaking 4 verses, essential verses to Arjuna in the middle of the Bhagavad-Gita, in the 10th chapter. Bhagavad-Gita has 18 chapters, and this middle part of the 18 chapters, from 7th up to 12th chapter, is very essential because it gives the heart of the Lord, means bhakti. And from these 6 chapters, from 7 up to 12, 9 and 10 is most important. 9 and 10, because they are the very hard, the deepest expression and meaning is described. It's called Antara. Like in Navadvip, we have Antardvip. Those of you who have been in Mayapur, there are 9 islands, and the central island is called Antaradvip. So, and every island is representing one process. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. 9 processes, beginning with hearing, chanting, remembering. So, and in the end, the central, it's like a lotus central wall of the lotus is Antardvip, with its center Mayapur, Yoga Pit, where Lord Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared as the son of Sachi Devi and Jagannath Mishra. And the 8 petals around represent the 8 processes of hearing, chanting, remembering, and the central is surrender, Atmanivedanam. So Antardvip, the heart, means Atmanivedanam, the full surrender. But we cannot fully surrender as Krishna is requesting in the end of Bhagavad-Gita 18th chapter, text 66, fully surrender unto me. We are not capable for that, because we don't have the taste for it. We don't have the realization of it. But that's the goal. It doesn't mean that the goal is very high set, that it's not for us. So we can just speak about Varnashram and about psychology and about astrology and about nice feeling in the heart and consciousness and relish nice prasadam together and be happy. That's that's only a side effect, by effect. The main effect is that we are completely can absorb in Krishna consciousness. Therefore, consciousness means Krishna consciousness. We become conscious about Krishna. Actually, why Antardvip got the name? Antardvip. So it's the very center of the Navadvip, of 9 islands, and in that center, the most confidential part is residing. Lord Chaitanya's heart, because that's the appearance place and pastime place, main pastime place of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It was the place where Brahma, the creator of the universe, one time came and he meditated there. He performed tapasya. That's described by Bhaktivinoda Thakur in Navadvipta Mahatmya, Parikrama Kanda, in the section of Parikrama. There's a description how Brahma, he performed tapasya there with the purpose to attract the Gora Krishna, because he understood that Gora Krishna, the golden Krishna, who is not blackish outside, he's blackish inside but covered with the golden effulgence, Gauranga. This is Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the Lord Brahma, he knows all the avatars. He knows about the schedule of all avatars, when they will appear, how they look, and he always wants to witness them. Because he's the creator of the universe, he can witness all avatars, beginning from Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nisingha, Vamana, Parusharam, Ram, Balaram, Krishna, Buddha, Kalki, all these avatars, and they come again and again, like a circle, have no end. So that means these avatars always come and go, again and again. And Brahma wanted to witness and get the darshan of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, because he knew that Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Krishna, but more merciful than Krishna. He's more merciful than Krishna because Krishna is asking for, I have to put it down here, because Krishna is asking for condition, surrender. But Mahaprabhu, he doesn't ask condition. He just asks, chant Hare Krishna, do as I do. Follow my example, follow my achara. So if we follow the achara of Lord Chaitanya, to chant the holy name, sing and dance in the association of devotees, that was Lord Chaitanya's program. And that was Lord Chaitanya's program. He's Krishna himself. But Krishna himself, he has one desire what remained unfulfilled. But normally, all his desires, what he wishes, become fulfilled. He can fulfill himself. Because he's all-powerful. So he can fulfill all his personal desires, but one desire he could not fulfill. And that gave him a little problem. So he became a little, he got a little problem and thoughtful, and he thought, how I will relish that, because I'm the enjoyer of all rasas. So I like to also understand the rasa of my devotees. And the greatest of my devotees is Radharani. Srimati Radharani, she is the greatest of Krishna's devotee. Therefore, her name is Radha, or Radharani, the queen of all servitors. Radha comes from the word Aradhanam. Aradhanam sarvesham Vishnu Aradhanam param. So if we are worship Krishna or Vishnu, this is Aradhanam. But Lord Shiva, when Parvati one time asked her, what is the supreme kind of Aradhanam? Shiva said, my dear Devi, the greatest form of Aradhanam is Vishnu or Krishna Aradhanam. That's the supreme. It's higher than worshipping Shiva or Brahma or Surya or Ganesh or Devi herself, Durga, Parvati. So the highest form of worship is the worship Vishnu or Krishna, who is the source of Vishnu. And but there's something very confidential, because Krishna also loves something. He loves something for those who are always engaged in his devotional service, all the time, or completely absorbed, who cannot live without him for even a moment. These devotees are his heart and soul. They're more dear to him than his own life. Like the devotees, for the devotee, Krishna is more dear than their own life. It's prananath. It's prananath. So similarly, for Krishna also, the devotee who is fully dedicated about him in loving devotional service is his life and soul. And Krishna wants to relish that. He thinks, what kind of sweetness, what kind of nectar must be in this devotional service to me? I cannot relish myself. Only Radharani, she's the top, she can relish. She can relish, I cannot relish. Therefore, I like to take up her mood. And to take up her mood, he appeared as Gauranga, or Gaurahari. He's internal Krishna, but he's also Akrishnam. That means he's not Krishna, he's golden. Because he accepts the golden effulgence of Radharani. Radharani is golden. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Suta Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. So she has golden complexion. And actually this worship of the devotee of Krishna, and to associate with such devotees, be respectful with such devotees, and always in the association hear and chant and remember and sing and dance and take prasadam together and exchange relationships together, realization, then this is very pleasing to Lord Krishna. Krishna one time he told to Arjuna in Adi Purana, I'm not in Vaikuntha, I'm not in the heart of the yogis either, so I'm there where my devotees always happily hear and chant enthusiastically and lovingly with each other. There I'm present. That's Krishna, Krishna's nature. And Krishna's nature, merciful, is now revealed by mercy of Lord Chaitanya and his associates. Krishna Varnam Tvishakrishnam Sangopangas Parshadam Yagyai Sankitam Prayar Yachantihi Sumedasa. That's described in the Bhagavatam. That Krishna in the age of Kali Yuga, it's described by one of the Yogendras, Nava Yogendras, the great sages, devotees, sons of Rishabhadev. They instructed King Nimi. So Nimi was very curious to hear about transcendental knowledge from the great realized sages. And they also wanted to hear about the different incarnations of the Lord in the different yugas. And so the sages explained that in the Kali Yuga, the Lord appears as a devotee, as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. And although he is Krishna himself, he is a devotee. And he comes together, not alone, he comes with his devotees, with his expansions, with his angas, part and parcels, with his upanga, parshadam, associates, and expansions of an expansion. Therefore he comes with Nityananda, with Advaita Acharya, with Gadadhar Pandit, with Srivas Thakur, with all the Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, all the Lord Chaitanya's devotees. With all of them he comes together. And what is his function or his activity? It's Sankirtan. It's a hearing and chanting about Krishna. So Krishna Katha, relishing Krishna Katha, is Sankirtan. Complete absorption of Krishna Katha is Sankirtan. That's the main meaning. This is the antara, this heart piece, the most confidential message and place of Lord Chaitanya's appearance. And Brahma, he came there to get the darshan of Lord Gauranga, Gaura Hari, because in Krishna Leela he made one time a mistake. He was not favorable in the pastime of Krishna in Krishna's Leela. He kidnapped Krishna's calves and Krishna's friends, the Gopas, and he hid them because he wanted to test Krishna if he is really Krishna, the Supreme Lord. And then Krishna gave him a good lesson, and he showed to him the same Gopas and calves whom Brahma thought he kidnapped them, he hid them, but Krishna, he manifests them from his own internal energy. And when Brahma came back, he saw them in 4 arms, the calves and the boys. Everyone had 4 arms, and they were looking like universal form, like the Lord Vishnu, Lord Narayana, his worshipable Lord. And he offered his obeisances and his prayers in the 14th chapter of the 10th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So he offers his prayers to Krishna. So Krishna, he forgave him somehow. He was pleased. But Brahma somehow he thought, I want to please him in Gaura avatar. Not in an unfavorable way. I will want to appear in his Leela. I want to directly take part in his Leela. So he worshipped for that purpose, with that desire in, as we heard a few days ago, Satya Sankalpa. We should have a desire when we worship the Lord. So if we're worshipping the Lord, we need to have the purpose to please Him, to attain Him, to get His pleasure, His mercy. So this is called Satya Sankalpa. So everyone has desire, but desire should be linked on Krishna. This is perfection, not only on Artha, Kama, Moksha, Dharma, like that. This is material. That keeps us to the material world. So the Satya Sankalpa, if we direct it towards Krishna, that will lead to pleasure of Krishna. Krishna is happiness, and He will grant us His darshan. He appears. So Brahma, because Krishna was pleased with Brahma's austerities, with Brahma's prayer, so he appeared before him, and he gave him blessing that he will take birth in Gaura's Leela, Lord Chaitanya Leela, as Haridas Thakur. To means Acharya of the Holy Name, for spreading the Holy Name, and that he will not become puffed up because of family, lineage, or birth. He will not take birth as Brahma or in a Brahmana family or high-class family. He will take birth in a Mlecha Yavana family, in a Muslim family. And by this way, Lord Chaitanya actually wanted also to prove that Lord Chaitanya's mercy and this Lord Chaitanya Sankirtan movement is not only for Brahmanas or for the high-class people, it is for everyone, even for the outcast. And this is completely supported by Shastra of Kapila Dev in the third canto, where Kapila Dev actually with Devahuti, they had a discussion about devotional service, and there the topic came up that how merciful actually the holy name is, the holy name of Krishna, because even somebody who was born in a low family, even in a dog eater family, if he took birth and he will chant Hare Krishna, he will become Brahmana. And the Brahmana, hence a Brahmana who is not chanting Hare Krishna, who is not a devotee of Krishna, although he took birth in Brahmana family, he will have a mentality like a dog eater. He will be not pure. So what actually makes us pure, what makes us uplifted, elated, or enthusiastic in our lives and successful in our life is Krishna. Krishna is as brilliant as the sun, and when we let Krishna sun enter, Krishna Surya enter in our heart, then our heart will become completely enlightened. And if the heart becomes enlightened, the consciousness becomes enlightened, and then one feels completely joyful and happy. And this is because of the presence of Krishna. That's the result. What is the result when devotees come together? They become happy and satisfied in hearing and chanting about Krishna. Like materialists, when they come together, like somebody who likes pop music or some kind of rock music, when they come together, they speak only about music, right? And they have so much taste and completely absorbing in that, But this is, of course, something very temporary because it has a beginning and an end. You're a musician. Of course, you can always go on with the music, topic about music. But in one point becomes a little boring. Otherwise, why you become a Hare Krishna devotee? Madhu Mangal. Why you became Hare Krishna devotee? And rock music? 5 minutes. Has a beginning. And he's a very good musician. But you are honest. It has a beginning and an end. An example about Baladev Vidyabhushana gives the commentary to this sloka today. He gives a very nice commentary. In that commentary, he points out devotees are meeting together and speaking and discussing very scientifically and very much in detail about Krishna's nature, about Krishna's opulences, about Krishna's lila, name, qualities, pastimes, and devotees with great gusto, with great taste. And they gave a very nice example. They gave the example of people who like to cook. Somebody who likes to cook, they maybe you have seen if there is cooking classes. Sometimes in the TV we can see cooking classes. Then they speak so much with that you really, if you hear them, how they're speaking, all the details, and you can see visually how they're preparing and cut everything and preparing everything, and everyone in the class, they go fully into it, you really start, salival, the mouth gets watery, and you get a taste. Why? Because the persons, the teacher of the cook, he has such a much taste in eating. And that's the basic nature of material life. It's anamaya. We all have great taste in eating. We don't have to argue about eating. Everyone as long you're healthy, you like to eat. And you relish a feast on any kind of food, if you have a good appetite. And you like to hear and speak about it, and find out recipes and so much knowledge how to improve cooking and the food, the kind of food, because we like so much to eat, and it increases your appetite, your gusto in eating. So and similarly, Baladev Vidyabhushana, he is describing that when devotees come together, they're like cooks. But instead that they speak about cooking and details about cooking paraphernalia and items and foodstuffs and spices and all that, they speak about Krishna. With so much taste, with so much relish, that everyone who hears it, they also become inspired to take up this process. So it's not artificial. That means Krishna consciousness is not artificial. It is very practical, and we can even if you are new devotee or not even real devotee, by heart, if you come in contact with this process somehow or other, one feels some attraction. One feels some attraction to it, and that's the power of this process of hearing, chanting, and remembering about Krishna in the association of devotees. It has to be done in the association of devotees. Like if you want to become a good cook, you have to associate with somebody who is an expert cook. If you want to become a good manager, you have to work with a good manager and learn from him. If you want to become a teacher, you have to learn from an experienced teacher. If you want to become a musician, you have to learn from musicians. Those who have similar mentality and interest, they associate with a similar personalities. And that inspires, that gives great inspiration to continue. So, but as soon we are disassociate ourselves and think I can practice Krishna consciousness on my own, this is can be very dangerous, especially in the beginning platform. As new devotees, we need association. It's recommended by Srila Rupa Goswami in Nectar of Devotion, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and also in the nectar of instruction, Upadesha Amrita. He gives very important guidelines for the devotee who wants to make advancement in Krishna consciousness. And so he explains very much the sadhu sangha aspect, how to associate with devotees, with those who have similar interests, where make friendship with them, with those who are more advanced, where learn from them, and with those who are new people who don't know about it, we are teaching them the process. So this goes together. Learning from somebody who is more advanced and associate with those who are equally as friends, and engage in devotional service together in practice, and to new devotees, we are helping them with preaching practically. We use the word preaching. Preaching actually means explaining them the process. It's not necessarily converting. Actually, we cannot convert anyone. It's not possible, because Krishna consciousness is here already. It is only a question of how much purity we are spreading or speaking the message without false motivation. This is called Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti. That means without false motivation, without selfish personal agenda. So if a person is pure, and then he's those who associate, they become inspired. They become like electricized, or if we come in contact with fire, we develop fire. We also become fired up. So conversion is not possible, because if we only convert, then we can also again reconvert. So we can always change our different beliefs and faiths. But Krishna consciousness is not a belief or a faith. Krishna consciousness is our nature. It's our eternal nature. But it's dormant, it's sleeping. Nitya Sita Krishna Prem, Shadya Karanoi, Shravanadi Shute Chite, Korya Udoy. Lord Chaitanya, he says, Krishna consciousness or Krishna Bhakti is dormant in our heart. That's the nature of the soul. It's the dharma of the soul. But it is covered by the Maya, by forgetfulness. But if this Maya, if we are chanting Shravanadi Shute Chite Koryudoi, if we hear and chant and remember Krishna and the association of devotees, this covering of Maya will gradually be removed. Kechi Kevalaya Bhaktya Vasudev Parayana. Bhagavatam says, the holy name is like the sunrise. In the darkness we cannot see, but there's so much fog in the morning. But when as soon the sun rises, after some time, the fog is gone. The covering is gone by the power of the sun. As soon the holy name, the pure, eternally liberated holy name, who is not different from Krishna, appears in our consciousness, in our heart, it acts like the sun and removes the fog of Maya. That means then we can see our real nature, the real nature, dormant nature of Krishna consciousness, what we have forgotten since long time. But it's our nature, it's in us. It's our heritage, but we lost it, we forgot it. Like Lord Chaitanya, when he met Sanatana Goswami, he told him the story of an astrologer who could see the man's future, or I would say that what he has forgotten. So, and he told to one poor man that you have actually a very rich father, but he died in a removed way, in a faraway place, but he left a big treasure for you, but you cannot, you have no access to it now, because he could not give you the message, and tell you where the treasure is hidden. He hid it very nicely. And the astrologer told him, don't go to that place from the southern side, because from southern side it's Karma Kandya. Then many mosquitoes and some insects will come. They will bite you everywhere and you will suffer. So that's a troublesome path. Don't go from the south. Don't go from the west to that treasure. Because from the west, Karma Kandya will be there. It's like a ghost. And who will attack you. A ghost of Karma Kandya, of mental speculation, studying on the absorption in the Vedic literatures, in knowledge, and become just like a professor, only on intellectual platform, then become hunted like a ghost. Also don't approach it from the north, because from the north there will be a snake. Yoga, mystical yoga. Don't approach the path to that treasure, to this premadana of love of Godhead. Don't approach it from the north either, because there is a poisonous snake. That snake will poison you and devour you, to make you one with it, with everything. So go from the east. Go from the eastern side to that, and then you find the treasure. And then all your problems in life, all your impoverization, that means all your poorness will be gone, your suffering will be gone. So in this way, if you are approaching by Guru instruction from the proper direction and in the and follow the guidelines, then we find this premadana and cultivate this premadana by hearing, chanting, remembering, in the association of devotees. Then anartha nivritti, anarthas will gradually remove. In the beginning, maybe we don't have much taste, but we hear from those who have taste. And then if you develop a little taste and faith in this process, then you can share it with others. And then everyone naturally will become inspired, because everything in Krishna consciousness is inspiring, it's pure message. Of course, if we are jaundice disease, the sweetness we cannot relish, but if we are relish or taste the sweetness with the faith that it will cure me, it will treat my disease, my disease will be removed. If I have faith in the medicine of who is sweet but we cannot taste, then with the time we can relish the sweetness, natural sweetness of Krishna consciousness. And then we will see there is nothing else higher and more to achieve, because that includes everything. So, Lord, therefore it's natural, the process of becoming Krishna conscious. It's like a plant growing. First is a seed, then by watering process of hearing, chanting about Krishna, this seed will sprout, then it will become a nice creeper, growing higher and higher. But we have to protect it from weeds who attack the creeper. And this is pratishta, name, fame, adoration, lusty desires, selfishness, fault-finding mentality, only looking for fault and not for the good. Being Hippocratic, not straight, not completely concentrated honestly in the process, and so on. There are different kinds of weeds, and they will drag us away from the process of bhakti. So that we have to root them out. This is the part of vidhi. Vidi Mark, according to Rupa Goswami, we have to root out all these seeds. Although the rooting out of the seeds or of these plants, it's a troublesome job, because the seeds are always remaining. And again, after the next rain comes, plant shut up again, and then again we have more weeds than before. It's like an unending work. Therefore, we have to make a fire ultimately. And the fire is this Krishna consciousness. When the Krishna consciousness comes manifested on the level of anartha nivritti nishta, and ruchi gradually becomes developed, then these weeds and these seedlings, they will have no chance anymore. They will become completely destroyed. They cannot grow anymore further. And only the bhakti plant, who is nicely cultivated, becomes stronger and stronger, and will ultimately penetrate the whole universe, and even Brahmajyoti and the Vaikuntha planets, and will go to Goloka Vrindavan and offer a nice fruit to Krishna's lotus feet, or a flower to Krishna's lotus feet. This is the goal, to achieve this Goloka Vrindavan. And the plant wants to go there. Therefore, the devotee should never be satisfied in whatever level we are, as long we are not there, fully in the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet on the Goloka Vrindavan platform. We should not be completely satisfied. We should be eager and endeavor to go further and further in this process. And for that, we have to yearn and look for devotees who can guide you further and further on this process. And of course, Krishna from inside, that's in tomorrow's verse. Machita Matkat, what is the verse? Tomorrow's verse, 10:10. Tesham Satadyuktanam Vachatam Priti Purvakam Dadami Buddhi Yogam Tam Yenamam Upayanti Te. So those who are constantly endeavoring and engaged in my devotional service, I give them the intelligence how they can come to me. So this intelligence of how to attain Krishna and how to be Krishna conscious it's also given by Krishna. So ultimately we are fully dependent on Krishna. We cannot attain Krishna prema just because I want now. Or we cannot attain attraction to Krishna just because I want now. We can have the desire, but we have to be dependent on Krishna, on His mercy. On mercy of Lord Chaitanya, mercy of Guru, mercy of other Vaishnavas who are well-wishing, who are helping us to make progress in this direction. And that's actually the meaning of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, to somehow or other work together. We are all in the same boat. We cannot cross the ocean of birth and death single-handedly, only if we are cooperating and helping each other and work together in loving attitude, affectionate attitude. Then Krishna, He will make this big ocean of birth and death shrink to the size of the hoofprint of a calf, and so very easily one can attain the Parampadam, Vaikuntha, the spiritual world where there is no anxiety. So we are all on the same boat. And there's no use to jump out of the boat because we're in the ocean of birth and death. So we go lost there. There's not a solution to jump out of the boat of Krishna's lotus feet, of this Sankirtan movement. We should keep shelter in it and strengthen our faith in the association of faithful devotees. And then we can become strong and convinced and take up responsibility ourselves on this boat to help others to also become more convinced that we can cross over the ocean of birth and death together. Alone, we cannot. So we need the captain. The captain is Srila Prabhupada. He's our vision. He's our merciful guide. And he has many lieutenants and who are on the boat. Many matros. You were a matros? You know how it goes, huh? And if you're on the boat, so you have to cooperate, huh? And if you're not cooperate, then they will. No, better not. So they will help you, to cooperate, to and take up responsibility and help each other and inspire each other, so that we can together achieve the desired goal. So I stop here. Maybe any question or comment? Yeah, one analogy.
The goal you're saying is very high, full surrender. But until we are there, it's somehow unnatural because we are not pure. Then it must be something unnatural. What we practice.
What you consider we? You speak we. But who are you? From which
I'm not there.
Yeah, who? Your body or your mind or your senses or your nose?
Mind and body.
They never can go there. They will remain here. So what will go? It's the soul proper, the pure soul, the Atma, the Jiva Atma will go. We speak about that. Therefore, as long we don't realize that I'm the Jiva Atma, that I'm the eternal soul, then we always consider I'm the body, I'm the mind, I'm some part of this body and of the society, and the nation. But that is all an illusion. It's all coming and going. But the soul always remains the same. And that will go there. Therefore, the impurity is this conception, I'm this body, I'm man, I'm female, I'm Indian, I'm American, I'm Swiss, I'm Dutch, like that. This have to be given up. Sarva upadhi vinir muktam tapparatvena nirmalam rishikena rishikesha sevanam bhakti uchate. This has to be given up. It's called upadhi, false identification and designations. On the bodily concept, that we have to give up by taking up the process of devotional service. By engaging the senses in the service of the Lord of the senses. The Lord of the senses is Rishikesh. Rishikesh. That's the name of Krishna. He is the Lord of the senses. Rishi. Risha means senses, and Kesha, Isha is the master of the senses. So Krishna has a stronger desire that we come to him. We heard this many times from Prabhupada. He has more stronger desire that we come to him than we have desire. We always have tendency to forget him, to ignore him. Even if we have opportunity to think about him and to associate with him in the association of devotees and deity, we try always to somehow or other take relax from him. It means we are not really on the taste. If you are always on the taste, you become so much attached that you cannot think about not associating with Krishna. Always associate. And this association is of many kinds. You can associate directly, that's vapu. This is of course very rare and not practical, irrealizable with our body now. with our anarthas and impurities. We cannot come near to Krishna. He's like a fire. But we can become attached to Krishna in the form of the holy name, in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam, in the form of devotees, spiritual master, deity, deities. Deity represent also Krishna. A holy place represents Krishna. And just by living in such a holy place, just by associating with Krishna in the form of the deity, knowingly or unknowingly we become purified. Like there's description in the Skanda Purana of a rat. In many temples, there are mouse and rats in the altar. Unavoidable sometimes. And they try to get something to eat, and this Kartik Mahatmya in Skanda Purana is described how a rat, because in the Kartik month you always light a candle, a light ghee lamp, and to Krishna, and this lamp should never go out. It should never become extinguished. Sometimes the lamp is on the top of the temple. It's also in the temple, because even in Jagannath-puri today they don't have electrical light. Everything is ghee lamps, like in old time, Vedic time, ghee lamps. So, and these ghee lamps never go out. And especially in the Kartik month, is a vrata that the devotee should take care that the ghee lamp never goes out. It's always burning for the pleasure of Lord Vishnu or Krishna. He's very pleased if we offer him a ghee lamp in that month. And actually, not only to offer him a ghee lamp, also take care that others can offer. On that the ghee lamp don't become extinguished by some wind or something. Can something happen, and the ghee lamp become extinguished. Even if you can protect the ghee lamp from not become extinguished, you can get so much mercy and mercy of the Lord. And there's a story of a rat. Mouse and rats, what they like most is butter, ghee. So there was a rat, she went up to the ghee lamp. And the ghee lamp was just on the point to become extinguished, by drowning in the ghee, because the ghee after some time becomes liquid, and this ghee wick, the ghee wick, sometimes drowns in that liquid ghee and become extinguished. Cannot burn anymore. So what this mouse or rat did, she put the nose in that ghee. And what happened, that means the ghee wick, came up again. Just on that point where the ghee lamp was on the point of extinguish, the ghee lamp went up, and the light came up again, And that was so much sukritina, agyata sukritina for the rat, that this rat practically attained liberation. Just because of that one seva, what the rat did in the all. You believe it? Possible? Not possible? Possible, huh? Yeah. Because I think sometimes this is a lot of fairy tales and propaganda material of the scriptures, telling us so many fantastic examples, just to give us a taste of it or an appetite for it. No, it's a truth. There's a truth in it. It happened. Shastra is never wrong. It's the ultimate praman. Ultimate evidence that Lord is existing is Shastra, Scripture. And what is the second evidence that God is existing? Prabhupada one time asked a devotee, How we can experience, how you know that Krishna is existing? Huh? Feeling, yeah, because he feels. I'm here, because when I chant, when I read, when I associate with, I feel Krishna's presence. I become happy, causelessly happy, and it stays, not for 5 minutes, all the time, nitya. So that means the evidence of that Krishna is existing is twofold. Twofold. Main. There's so many other also possibilities. But these are two main proofs. It's the scriptures, revealed scriptures. And the second, the realized devotees who realize the presence of the Lord. Who have experience of it. And actually every devotee who becomes a little purified after some time in the practice of devotional service, if he is sincerely or even half sincerely practicing, feel some purification, some experience of Krishna in his heart and also in his life, appearing in his life. It is there. Otherwise, how we will go on practice after so many years, 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, some of us now 40 or 50 years. How is possible? Or even life after life. That means Krishna consciousness is an experience, what we can experience from the soul, from the heart. It's something very near and very dear. Actually, it's the most near and the most dear. And Krishna always remains most near and most dear. All the time. Even if you are not perfecting life now. Even if you are an atheist, Krishna is most near to you and most dear to you. But you don't know it. That's the atheist. Actually, a real atheism is not really existing. They're called just Sura, Asura, just a duality. We are living in the material world. There's Sura, the godly person, who has faith in God, and the Asura, who is denying God, who is practically against. It's like yin and yang, or darkness and light. They don't go together, but they simultaneously exist. And why darkness and why is Asura existing? Because there's Sura. There's the godly. There's light, there's also darkness. But darkness can never cover the light. The light is the cause of darkness. Yeah, they coexist together, but as soon the light is absent, darkness appears, right? Shadow appears. So they cannot live separate. The darkness and light always are together. That's the duality of material life. But Krishna consciousness is transcendental to this light and dark, to Deva and Asura. Sura, Asura. It's transcendental to it, has nothing to do with it. In the material world, always Sura and Asura is fighting. You cannot stop it. Never. It will always go on, this duality. If it will stop, then it's no more duality. That means it's no more material world. So if your consciousness comes out of this duality of darkness and light, that means good and bad, and this I like and this I don't like. This is my enemy and this is my friend. If you come out of this fog of the duality, then you are in Krishna's world. Then you are in the world of Brahmaloka. That means you are in spiritual atmosphere. And from the spiritual atmosphere, if the bhakti plant is there, don't be satisfied in the Brahmapuri, in the Brahma Loka. Go to the Brahmapuri Krishna Loka. That's the ultimate place. This is the Antardvip. That's Mayapur. This is not different from Goloka Vrindavan. This is there where Lord Chaitanya wants to bring us. And that's our eternal home. Yeah. Cloud a little gone, Vanamali. Yeah.
Mercy of Lord Chaitanya versus mercy of Krishna or mercy of Radharani?
That's his mercy. That's his mercy.
His mercy. He came in Radharani's mood.
Yeah, but it's Lord Chaitanya mercy, because Lord Chaitanya came as a devotee. He came in the mood of Radharani. We cannot separate Radha and Krishna from each other. Radha and Krishna are one tattva. But for the sake of Leela, this tattva became two. And for the sake of the Audarya, of spreading the mercy, of the love to Krishna, this divine Yugala Kishore, Radha Krishna, became one again. So you cannot say it is Radharani or it is only Krishna, it is Lord Chaitanya. It's Gora Tattva.
Because in the beginning of lecture you have said that Krishna he put condition for surrender to me and to me.
Yeah.
But Lord Chaitanya he said he gives mercy.
Yeah, because he comes as Bhakta avatar. He's Bhakta. Panchatatmakam Krishnam, Bhakta Rupa Sarupakam, Bhakta Avatara, Bhaktikam, Namama Bhakta Shaktikam. Panchatattva means 5 Bhakta incarnations. 5 truths who appeared as Bhaktas. Everyone as Bhakta, as devotee. That's Lord Chaitanya, he's Bhakta Rupa. Nityananda is Bhakta Swarup. Advaita Acharya is Bhakta Avatar. Gadadhar Pandit is Bhakta Shakti. And Srivas Thakur Bhakta, pure Bhakta. Shuddha Bhakta. So all 5 truths, all 5 tattvas appear in the Panchatattva. Therefore, the Panchatattva, Kaviraj Goswami says, if you're worshipping Radha and Krishna, but you don't worship Panchatattva, you're a demon. You heard, right? Yeah, you're Asura. And he also says, and if you only worship Panchatattva and not Radha Krishna, you're also a demon. You're also Asura. So therefore we have to worship Panchatattva first, and then by the authorization of Lord Chaitanya, because Lord Chaitanya, he himself, he also always had Krishna name on his tongue. Krishna, the 2-syllable Krishna, were all the time on his lips. So therefore we have to follow Lord Chaitanya's example. We have to worship him as not different from Krishna. And at the same time, we also have to worship Radha and Krishna, not separate of Lord Chaitanya. Only by mercy of Lord Chaitanya we can attain shelter in Radha Krishna. And how you can get shelter of Lord Chaitanya? Who knows about that? Mercy? By mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, yeah. Guru Tattva. He's Sankarshan. He's Balaram. So he is always eager to connect Sankarshan means to connect. He connects all living entities with Krishna, with Absolute Truth. Therefore, without Sankarshan mercy, Balaram mercy, we have no chance to attain Lord Chaitanya. He is Nityananda Ram. Therefore, we worship Guru and Karanga. We worship Guru and Lord Nityananda with Lord Chaitanya together. By mercy of Guru and Nityananda, the original Guru, we can receive mercy of Lord Chaitanya. By mercy of Lord Chaitanya, we can attain Radha Krishna. And Kaviraj Goswami says, we should not just think, also now I should not worship Radha Krishna, only Lord Chaitanya. That's wrong. So a real worshipper of Lord Chaitanya worships always Radha Krishna. Therefore, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, when he installed Radha Krishna, he always installed Lord Gauranga next to Krishna in the Gaudiya Math temples. You can see Krishna, Lord Chaitanya is next to Krishna because he wants to show that Lord Chaitanya is not different from Krishna, but he is more merciful than Krishna because he gives Krishna prema freely. Krishna is a reserve set. He only shares it with his confidentials, with his associates who are in the four rasas with him here in Vrindavan. Only with those he is sharing. But Lord Chaitanya, he plunders this storehouse of love of God, and he is relishing it, distributing it amongst the Panchatattva members and all other devotees, and then he gives instruction, now you should distribute it. You should distribute the prasadam and mahaprasadam with your own realization. Therefore, it's very important that devotees not only theoretically preach and distribute Krishna consciousness. Of course, this is our mission, but it doesn't mean that we should stay in Maya and not tasting Krishna consciousness. We have to relish. We have to absorb ourselves more and more in this Krishna consciousness process and relish it so that we become more convinced so that we can share it. And then there are two levels on that platform. Those who relish but only want to keep it for themselves, and those who relish but want to give it to others. That's the difference. Both are good. You should not make mistake and think, the one who is only keeping for himself, he's not so good. No, he's great because he's attached to Krishna, he's engaged in devotional service according to his capacity. But he has maybe not the nature and he doesn't know how to give this to others. So he chants in a solitary place. But that's actually very rare. Should not be imitated. For the most, we should live together with association and follow the acharyas, our Srila Prabhupada, who is on the platform of relishing and also of distributing it. That's his mercy. That's his great mercy that we should always appreciate. He didn't have to do it. He could also only keep it for himself, but he wanted to share it. Because this is Lord Chaitanya's movement. This is our family business. So Prabhupada, he got it from his Guru Maharaj, the family business, to preach and to distribute books and to teach Krishna consciousness on the basis of Bhagavad-Gita and Bhagavatam, and the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra as the main mantra. This great mercy of Srila Prabhupada, that he made this sacrifice despite his age. He went to the West. He was nicely situated here in Vrindavan. But he had this urge, this eagerness, this great desire to spread Lord Chaitanya's teachings to the Western world, to the English-speaking people. But he didn't implant this desire in himself. His guru implanted it. Like Prabhupada, I learned so many things from my father, from my parents, from my teachers. But only one thing they could not teach me. This is the mission, book distribution, and to preach. Because preaching mission is Bhagavad Marg. And Bhagavad Marg only comes from Bhagavad Sampradaya. That means of the devotees who have a relish and a taste in this process, and also teaching it by writing books about it. So that other devotees, new devotees, could also adopt and take up this process. Kinchana, question? Oh, no? Only hearing, that's good. Other question? Good. Hare Krishna, thank you very much. Glory to Prabhupada. Srimad Bhagavad-Gita, Ki Jai.